Do you have dirty concrete? Do you need it sealed? I'm going to talk about the steps today. What do we need to look for when we first pull up to clean concrete and we're going to seal the concrete? These are some things that we need to be able to know. Is there anything that we can do to make them go away 100%? Or is it might going to be there for a long time? And while we are doing this, this is probably the number one thing is we have oil stain right there, right? So how do we get oil stains up? Well, we need a good degreaser to get the oil stains out of the concrete. Now, concrete is like a huge sponge, and that oil will go way down into that concrete, and it'll suck way down into that concrete. And so with this, a lot of times we can get the oil up, but not all the time is the stain going to come up. So with oil, we need a good degreaser. You can even use Purple Power, you can use Super Clean, you can use even better stuff like Assassin, Golden Assassin. You can use WD-25 from Russ Johnson, which is a really good one. You can use hydroxide, sodium hydroxide. When it's hot out, make sure you're using protection, right? Make sure that you're keeping the sun off of you. Going back to the matter of oil, you know, this is why we do not park in driveways. This is why we want to park out on the street, so that way if something happens, we had a customer that she was not, they had her oil change, they didn't put the plug back in, they dropped oil in their driveway. It was about a 25-30-year-old driveway. We got it up about 80-90%. There was still 5-10% left, and she got a new driveway out of it. And so this is why we don't park on driveway. We don't guarantee that we can get all the oil up. So these are some things when we're coming here to get this clean, is we want to make sure that the oil is one thing that we're going to do. Number two is rust. We have rust down here. You can see the rust down here, right there. I think it is. Let me see. Right there is rust, right? Now, rust, we have to use either oxalic acid. We can use F9 products. F9 bark will help get it up. We can use Rust Remover Plus from Power Wash Store. I really like it. We can use One Restore to be able to get those rust spots up. Now, if we're just cleaning concrete and we're not sealing it, then we are not really, this will be extra charges to get these up. Now, if we're gonna seal it, this is usually, I'm gonna put it in with my seal job. And we'll talk a little bit about our seal job, but that's where we're gonna put that in with our seal job. And then lastly, we have this here. This is just mold. This is just some black mold from the water sitting there. And you know, sodium hypochlorite is going to bring that up, and even the pressure washer is probably going to bring it up by itself. And then we have one last thing here. And this one here is going to depend on if you, so when DJ first started here, he always did it, and I always gave him crap about it. He would always go through and edge all the grass. He would edge all the grass here. And now, if he's not sealing the concrete, we're not weed eaters, right? We're not lawn care. Now, if you want to go a step above and you want to put yourself above everyone else and you want to put yourself above all the competition, then you take your turbo nozzle and you will turbo nozzle all of this grass out of here, and that way it will make it look better. And this, yes, this driveway, we are sealing it, and yes, we are going to do that. Now, one other thing we can do to help set us apart is when we come in here to do the driveway, we're going to do up the road here, and you know, this here. And if you want to, and some people will do this, some people will, some people won't, is we can actually do the curb too. So the curb going down through here, we can clean it up, and that way the property of the front of the house looks amazing. And this is some things that we can do, so that way we are getting high pricing, we are getting those prices that we're trying to get, and that is why we're going to hit all these things. So with that said, again, oil is one that is, you know, we can get the oil up but it might be hard to get the stain up. Some things that also will help us get the oil up is heat, but again, that will not bring the stain up. It will only bring the heat or the oil up. But with that, you know, if you want to do exceptional for your customer, make sure we're charging premium pricing. I don't want you going charging cheap pricing. Cheap pricing just puts you out of business faster. I want you to be premium pricing, not cheap pricing. Everybody say in the comments, premium pricing. That's what I want you to put in the comments, premium pricing. And when we get premium pricing, this is how we stay in business. And then the next word I really want you to put in the comments is profit, right? Because profit is not a 4-letter word. Profit is not a bad word. A lot of people think profit is a bad word, and profit is not a bad word. So with that, I hope you understand kind of some things that we are looking for when we are getting ready to clean and seal a driveway. Some things that we have to worry about when we are doing concrete is that obviously this is up a hill, and all of our water is going to come and it's going to settle right in here, and it may even settle right here because you can actually see where it has settled, where it's going to settle over here, and it's going to settle in this area right here. And so these are some things and concerns that we have to pay attention to, and the best thing that I've always seen is kind of do this first, and then that way when it puddles you can kind of blow this out, and when we are pressure washing you'll see us blowing all this out of here. But yes, we do need to look at for our puddles and what we don't want puddles. Puddles are bad. Now, what are some things that we can do to help overcome these puddles? Most puddles, if you have a broom, you can broom them out sometimes. If you have a good high pressure washer, you can blow it out and it will get it going out that way. You can use, if it's kind of deeper, there's a thing called a sludge sucker. You can use a sludge sucker. So these are some things that we can use when we are trying to get the low spots out. This is day 2 and we are going to put the sealer down. But before we put the sealer down, we need to make sure there is some certain things that we do. So obviously we need to make sure that we get this cleaned up. We get any leaves that are off here done. So these are some things that we got to do before we can put the sealer down. Yes, you can do this in one day, but we are doing this in 2 days because it took a lot longer for me to clean it yesterday because I was trying to get a lot of video out of it, and it was 100 degrees yesterday and that was pretty hot. So this is a Saturday morning. This is a 2. You can either do some of these, you can do the same day, but you got to make sure that it's dry. And even like, for instance, we have a spot over here where the mat was. It's not dry, right? So we're going to have to blow that too to try to get that dry. So here's some ways that we can apply these sprayers. We can use a cheap $10 pump up sprayer. I did this most of the time. Once I was done, I just throw the sprayer away. I didn't have to worry about no cleanup. I didn't have to worry about that. Here's the better, the Janelle. This is actually a Chapman sprayer. These are like the Cadillac of sprayers. They put a nice even mist down. They do really well. I would highly recommend, if you're going to do a lot of this, go ahead and buy you a good pump up sprayer. It'll put a good pattern out. This is kind of off. And then we have this one here that is SMK. It actually sits down into the bucket. There's a hose that goes on it. It runs off a 12 volt, and this is a really nice here. I will show a video in here of how we're cleaning with each different one, or applying with each different application. Again, these are going to run you 100, 150 bucks, $10, 700, 800 bucks. Is that about where it is? 700, 800 bucks. So it kind of gives you an idea of the 3 different sprayers and how each sprayer will work. And so that's how we're going to do it. And then you always got the last one way, and that is a roller, a paintbrush roller. You can roll it down. You can use this also to back roll if you put too much. Or you can use a blower to kind of blow it, so that way, because when we're applying this, you'll see we don't want it too much. If we're puddling, that is too much, and that's going to cause issues with, it'll look white, it won't look right, and so that is a problem. And if you're going to apply 2 coats, you want to apply it within a certain hour before both of them. What'll happen is if we wait too long and wait to the next day, it'll be cured, and then that next one won't sit on it. So that's why we got to make sure that if we're going to apply 2 coats, we're doing it in a time frame where we need to be at.